Hello, YouTube. Okay, that worked. That worked. All right. Now, TikTok always takes a second. Actually, TikTok won't take a second because I set it up in advance. So TikTok should be pretty quick this time. Hang on a sec. This should be very quick. One moment. One moment. It's actually feeling cold in here, but I turned the temperature up, so hopefully it's not cold. We will see. Let's see. Blooming ribbons, watermelon love. The weirdest stuff here. Fireworks, jellyfish. The jellyfish is going to... Actually, we'll do the big fairy wings. Let's do the big fairy wings. All right. Confirm. Go live. All right. Woo-woo. Whoops. Hello. There we go. Hold on. TikTok counting down. All right. TikTok is live. Reverse. Go. Boom. Excellent. Excellent. Hello, everybody. I'll grab my light thingy majigger. A little more red, maybe. Hello. A little more red. Oh, there we go. A little brighter. I don't want to go brighter. I don't want to go brighter. Hello, TikTok. I'm going to push you back a little bit so I can see you guys better. Hello, all. Welcome. Happy Friday night to everybody. Happy joy, joy, joy. Hello, all. We're back. Woo-woo. We're back. You can't keep us down. Just checking my temperature inside here. We're back. Hold on, make sure my AC isn't on. It shouldn't be now. It shouldn't be. Here we go. La la la. So I had some really good, well, maybe good news last night. Hopefully the Greeks don't make it bad news. But I actually had no sound on TikTok. All right, TikTok. I unplugged and replugged. How is sound now on TikTok? My real account is back. Sound is good on TikTok, I'm assuming. Yeah, for the rest of you, I know it's good. TikTok, good? Okay. Yeah, so last night, end of the show, we do the more personal stuff. But overnight, and I'm kind of shocked about this, I got an email from local Greek government in a town of 40,000 people, and they may have found a document I need to get my Greek passport. This has been 15 years of trying to find this document, and they may have found it, meaning they did find it, but I still need to now make sure. But I'm kind of blown away because I literally wrote an email, found on the web an email to it's a larger city, but it's 40,000 people. It's not that large. It's a well-known Greek city, but it's still small, 40,000 people. And I found an email online and literally emailed them, had ChatGPT found the email, I should say, had ChatGPT write me a letter in Greek that I can read, but I can't write Greek. So I had ChatGPT write the letter, and they looked, mind you, just emailing the random email address. They checked for me. Within a week, they got back to me. They found one of the documents I'm looking for. Let's see what the Greek embassy says. That could be a problem, but this could be the document that unlocks the entire thing that has been a problem. Now, what's interesting, again, we won't do too much genealogy right now. What's interesting is for 15 years, I've been trying to find these documents, and supposedly they don't exist. In Greece, you have to register your family. It's complicated, but the family registry couldn't find it for 15 years. Because I found one helpful person, they went and looked and they found it, which is fascinating. Unfortunately, it's hard to find stuff. So, let's see though, because they found my grandfather's record. They can't find my mom's, but if they've got my grandfather's, I was told years ago that could be sufficient once you do all the other stuff. So anyway, I'm going to have to wait for the Greek embassy to get back to me sometime in the next few days to say, ooh, this could be good, or no, it's impossible. So it is still possible that I am told it's impossible. But at least a few years ago, I was told this record could unlock the whole thing. So we shall see. Anyway, but I can't believe literally, we will get into the news now, but I can't believe I emailed, like ChatGPT helped me find the email of a Greek local government. I emailed them my letter, and they actually cared enough to check their database for me and get back to me in a week, as some random guy from America emailing a local government in Greece. I'm still kind of blown away by this. I had ChatGPT write them the nicest note. I was like, you people are so freaking nice. So let's see. Very excited though. Like I said, it's been 15 years of this. So, be nice if it worked out. Anyway, welcome guys. I am John Aravosis. We talk about Greek passports, but we also talk about about the news. There isn't really a ton of news today. We got news. I know I got my Star Trek shirt on today. I love the shirt. It's from Amazon. Amazon sells these things. The funny part is it's a very scratchy shirt on Amazon, which I didn't like when I first got it. Once you wash it a few times, it's great. And I bought this thing in 2015. I mean, it's a damn good shirt, $15 or something. But once you wash it several times, it's pretty good. So very good. Any case, so welcome, guys. We talk about the latest news from America, the latest news from Ukraine. There isn't a ton of news across the board. Yes, my balcony is doing very well. Thank you, Jules. Well, I've got my actually, you don't even need this. I had this. I can take it down. Doesn't matter. My this behind me because we had sunlight earlier, but stop now. Anyway, so yes, nephew. Oh, Eamon is asking if my nephew had a good time in Ireland. My nephew wants to move to Ireland. That's how good a time he had in Ireland. He and his wife couldn't stop talking about Ireland. They were like the nicest people. They were there with some friends from work, like friends of friends from work or something. And he goes, we all went out like to the pub together. Their 78-year-old mom came to the pub with us and drank with us because he was blown away that the 78-year-old Irish mom wanted to go drinking with them. I mean, I laugh because I have to tell you, it's such an Irish stereotype, but it was very funny. I love that. The 78-year-old mom came drinking with us. It was great. So no, they so love, literally, he's talking about like Ireland is because they want to live abroad and they want to live in Greece. But Ireland is the other place he's like, I could see living in Ireland. Yeah. So who knows? I haven't been. I mean, I have been dying to go to Ireland. I've just never been just because, you know what I mean? Just hasn't happened. But I've always been dying to go. So got to put it on my list too. So, oh, Lucy's in Greece right now. Lovely. Where are you in Greece, Lucy, if I may ask? And why are you joining us if you're in Greece? It's like midnight or 1 a.m. You should be sleeping and going to the Parthenon early so you beat the crowds or something. Santorini, oh my God. Probably crazy tourists, but one of the most beautiful places on the planet. I went to Santorini as a kid, like in the 1970s, still crowded, but oh my God, one of the most beautiful, it's midnight. Oh, okay. One of the most beautiful places on the planet, Santorini. Oh my God. We took donkeys up from the beach. We got off the boat because we took the boat from Athens or wherever, and then took my dad, they had donkeys. My dad was like, let's take the donkeys. And I remember taking the donkey because you're going up this, mountainside, well, mountain kind of, it was a little crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Greece is great. What was the other, sorry, somebody else had a comment. Oh, Emmanuel says, I've been looking for my grandfather's record for the last 20 years in Greece. Well, that's the thing. Like what I have found, one thing I found, Emmanuel, it cut out the rest of your comment. One thing I found is clearly we found my grandfather's records last night, his Dimotologia. There's a family registry that you have to have if you're getting your passport in Greece. They found the record yesterday of my grandfather. They don't have my mom, but my grandfather might be enough. It's been 15 years. No one found any record, even my grandfather's. 15 years. Finally, somebody last night looked, or yesterday, and they found it. Any case, I don't want to get too much into the weeds here with you guys, but my suggestion would be you've got to find somebody in Greece to go to the local. I did not do this, but find somebody in Greece to go to the local record place and try to find it and do a little research on where it might be. But somebody human has to go there and somebody who knows the Greeks. Local Greek lawyer, maybe, right? In any case, the advantage of a Greek passport is an American can always travel to Europe. An American with a Greek passport can live in Europe. Greece in particular, but they're members of the EU, which means you could live anywhere in Europe. Well, anywhere in Europe within reason. Thank you, Norway, for the wings, which is pretty amazing. You'd have a European passport. You could live in any of, I don't know if it's 32 countries or 27, however many countries it is, which would be pretty amazing. Retirement, you can go for longer than half a year. Anyway, that is the idea, being able to retire in Europe, particularly Greece, but also Europe overall. All right. Let's get rolling here. Oh, Norway. Thank you. You're being very generous today. Thank you, Norway. Let's get rolling here with the news, guys. Oh, Carrie's going to Athens. Everyone's going to Greece. Everyone's going to Greece. Those are geraniums. Yes. I have my grandma plants, my geraniums, because as you guys can see in TikTok and YouTube and Discord, Geraniums, they're grandma plants, but they're beautiful. I keep them now every year. I bring them inside. I bring them back outside in the summer, and they flower like this all like for 6 months. Yeah. So, why not? Anyway, yeah, 27 countries. I thought so. Once I said 32, that's why I said 27. For some reason, I thought maybe there's 27. Well, when we say EU, are we talking Schengen? That was sort of what I was referring to. In any case, all right, enough of plants. We can get rolling now. We should do a group tour. So Trump and Elon, let's start with American news, then we'll move to Ukraine. Trump and Elon are having a little bit of a détente today, meaning they're not trying to be nice. They're trying not to yell at each other. Yesterday, you may recall, Donald Trump and Elon Musk literally got into a shouting match online. Delicious. I was going to say horrific. Delicious, but horrific. Elon kind of started it, but did he? Going back a few months, it was obvious that Ireland isn't Schengen. I thought Ireland was Schengen. Ireland is not Schengen. Are you sure? Of real? Sorry, I don't want to get back into this discussion here, but I thought Ireland was Schengen and EU. Are we sure about that? Just to double check. What? Sorry, I'm like asking people here. No, meaning no, it's not. Ireland is not Schengen. Ireland is Schengen. See, this is the problem I have. I ask these things and I always get two answers from you guys. See, Eamon looked like he had an Irish name. Not Schengen. Okay, we've got multiple not Schengens. Okay, enough of you are saying not Schengen. I'm going to believe you. Okay. Oh, I did not know. I thought Ireland was Schengen. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we won't be living in Ireland when we retire. In any case, so Elon and Trump. So, a couple months ago, it was clear to me that Trump and Elon were going to have a blow up. Elon had said, I'm talking like the beginning of Trump's administration. Elon had mentioned to a few people about how he was responsible for getting Trump elected. And I said at the time, Donald Trump is not going to be happy with Elon Musk saying that Elon got him arrested, right? Not arrested. That would be funny, actually. That got him elected. That just seemed to me that I was like, Trump is not going to like this. Also, there were multiple times when they were on camera together. Well, first of all, Elon came in his little T-shirt to the Oval Office. Like a week later, Zelensky comes in his sweatshirt and Trump gets upset that he's wearing a sweatshirt. You wonder, okay, did he not get upset about Elon, right? I think Trump thinks Elon's weird. I suspect, knowing Donald Trump, I know him well in terms of politics. I think he thinks Elon's weird. I don't think he'd like Elon at all. Elon's a different generation. I don't think he'd like Elon at all. But with a Greek passport, you should be able to live in Ireland regardless of Schengen. Is that true? Why would that be true, Andy? Sorry. We're going to keep jumping on topics here. Somebody else tell me why that might be true. But back then, the relationship I thought would already be a little off. Then we get to the last few weeks and we hear things like Trump is going to kill electric vehicle subsidies. And I keep trying to think, how is Elon not upset about that, right? Then we hear a couple weeks ago that Trump goes to the Middle East. And part of the deal when Trump went to the Middle East was he brokered a deal for American AI, artificial intelligence companies, interesting, Andy. I'll have to see about that. Brokered a deal with American artificial intelligence companies to invest in the Middle East. Basically, there was a whole huge, I forget, 100 billion, whatever it was a huge amount of money. The amount of partnership, they were going to buy NVIDIA chips, all sorts of things. Elon got pissed off because he wasn't included. Elon's got he's got Grok, his AI thing with Twitter, and it's part of a larger company. Elon's pissed off that his AI company isn't included in the deal the Trump administration worked out with the Arab governments a couple weeks ago. So Elon gets on the phone and says, I'm going to have Donald Trump kill the deal. I guarantee you Donald Trump will not approve of this deal if you do not include my Elon Musk's AI company in the deal with the Middle Eastern governments. They go to Trump. Trump looks at the deal and the deal's fine. We don't have to have Elon. I saw that news a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I went, right? right? Ooh, this is, danger, Will Robinson, right? Thank you, Jess, for the gift. There were just multiple warning signs to me that Trump was getting sick of Elon. And Elon was doing his really weird stuff. Like, remember inaugural night? It's Donald Trump's inauguration. All the news is supposed to be about Donald Trump. The entire day, the news was about Elon Musk. Elon did his, first of all, I think that might be the day he showed up with his, I don't know if that was the day he brought his I think it was his chainsaw that he brought on stage. That was not good. And again, it was weird, but it also stole the news. The biggest news was, remember, that was the day Elon did his salute with his hand in the air. It was pretty much everybody thought it was the same salute that the Germans of World War II do. It was CPAC. Okay. It was the same salute the Germans in World War II did. With the, I can't show you, but the hand was in the air at a certain angle. It wasn't like this. It was a certain angle. It looked like German World War II bad people, the baddies. That was the story of Trump. You got to go back and look. The story of Trump's inauguration day was whether Elon Musk gave a salute on stage honoring the German World War II veterans. Shall we? Well, let's call them that. Actually, today of all day, D-Day. Today's D-Day anniversary. I just can't use the actual words because TikTok gets upset. You get the idea. That day alone, and this is now January 20th, I said, oh, Donald Trump is not going to like this, right? Elon didn't just steal the news day on Trump's inaugural. Elon literally made it about whether Trump's top guy, Elon Musk, was honoring Germans from World War II by making their salutes. I mean, crazy stuff. Any case, so then you get to last week. A couple days, or maybe a couple days ago at most. And actually, no, Elon also came out against certain Trump proposals. He was criticizing Trump proposals. And Elon then comes out against Trump's big signature legislation. Trump has been pushing this big bill he wants to pass that will do a massive tax cut for the rich. It will also add massive amounts of money to the U.S. deficit, the U.S. debt. It'll cut 16 million people off of their health insurance. And Elon gets upset, not because people are losing health insurance. Elon gets upset because it's going to add almost $3 billion to the national debt. He's not wrong, though. That should be a concern. Our debt is huge. The interest rate on the debt, we're looking at it possibly going to $1 trillion a year. Just the interest we pay on the debt could be $1 trillion a year. Our budget is $6 trillion a year, 6.5 maybe, or almost 7. 1 trillion is ridiculous, right? For just the interest. So Elon complains. Elon then makes it his mission this week to kill the bill. And he keeps talking all week about how bad, and this is Trump's big bill. Trump's big, oh my God, right? This is the biggest thing ever. Elon keeps attacking it and criticizing it and saying they should kill it. Well, Trump starts to get annoyed, gets asked about it. And I had this yesterday, but I don't quite remember all of the back and forth. But Trump started getting pissed at Elon. Elon started getting pissed at Trump. At one point, Trump gets asked about it and says, Elon didn't get me elected. I got myself elected. Elon responds, you wouldn't be president if it wasn't for me. Which, Trump, right? This is yesterday. Trump says something else. Trump then starts talking about cutting Elon's subsidies, cutting off Starlink's and SpaceX, all of their government contracts. Elon responds by saying, you know what? Let's kill them right now. I'm going to stop working with NASA because Elon provides NASA with like some of their only spaceships they've got, their rockets they've got, and says, fine, I'm cutting off NASA. Trump gets pissed, so says something else. Elon then, in a series of tweets, talks about impeaching Trump, talks about Trump being an associate of Jeffrey Epstein, who's the sex offender, very bad man. And again, implying that Trump did the same thing because Epstein went to prison for doing very bad things to underage girls. The suggestion was that Trump hung out with him, right? And right. You get it. Yeah, you get it. He was an associate. Yes. You get it. Elon was suggesting that Trump did this stuff too. and put it in a huge tweet saying, I'm going to drop the big bombshell. Well, today, they did not make up. They certainly did not make up. Today, they agreed to stop. I'm going to put my thing on again. They agreed to stop attacking each other, which they stopped doing. Trump did say he's not talking to Elon. They asked Trump, they said, oh, are you going to reach out and talk to Elon? He said, no, I'm not going to call him. Trump is pissed. The problem is, and this is good, I don't know how Trump and Elon come back from this, right? Elon especially made clear what he thinks of Trump. Elon thinks he won the election. Trump didn't win the election. And Trump always thought that. I think Trump always thought Elon believed this. But when Elon came out and said it, thank you for the gifts, Laura. Thank you, Martin. Keep the gifts coming, guys, by the way. Thank you, STL. I do this for a living. Your gifts pay the bills, so please keep them coming. But I think Elon showed too many of his cards that Donald Trump already suspected. But when Elon came out and said, you didn't win the election, I won the election. You wouldn't be president if it weren't for me. With Donald Trump's narcissism, how do you come back from that, right? I mean, any president wouldn't be happy, but Donald Trump in particular. And then when Elon invoked Epstein and basically accused Trump of being, doing things with underage girls, basically was the accusation. I don't think you come back from that, right? I don't think somebody makes those accusations about you and you say, oh, bygones, let's work together. Now, the problem is Elon is the richest man in the world. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Justin Martin, for the gift. Elon is the richest man in the world. It's relevant for why, thank you, Laura, for why they might want to get along. I mean, it's in the best interest of Republicans for Elon and Trump to get along. But I don't know. Thank you for that, Melanie. I don't know how they kiss and make up. I mean, they stop attacking each other is fine. Elon had promised to put $100 million into Trump political organizations. He hadn't done it yet. You think he's going to do that now? Right? Elon talked about forming a third political party. I mean, Elon's got a lot of young men who like him. He's got a lot of Twitter followers. He just told a lot of his people that Donald Trump was a bad man. And the third political party thing means Elon told a bunch of his followers that you should not associate with the Republican Party. It's very interesting. I'm very intrigued by this whole thing, so we'll see, but it's been great to watch. It's been, and this couldn't be better because they're clearly not working together anymore. Elon's money, at least for right now, is cut off of the Republican Party, which is great. Anyway, we'll keep talking about this. So the next story does happen to be a story that a couple of you are already talking about. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia. He's the guy from El Salvador or whatever. I think it's El Salvador that the Trump people kicked out illegally. And he was living in Maryland. Trump people kicked him out, claimed he was a criminal. Remember, Trump claimed he was a member of a gang because Trump looked at a photoshopped photo that had the MI's, what was it? I keep saying MI. Well, MS, is it? MS-16 maybe? I forget the name. I was going to say MI6. That'd be kind of funny. And there was a Photoshop, MS-13, thank you. There's a Photoshop photo where, the guy had tattoos and the Trump people are trying to say, ooh, the tattoos were gang tattoos. There's no proof of that. I mean, there's no evidence of that. They then took a Photoshopped photo and in the photo, they wrote, oh, this means M, this means S, this means 1, this means 3. And they put the numbers on each finger. Trump looked at the photo and thought it was a tattoo that said MS13, the name of the gang. It was literally somebody with a computer who wrote the number 1, the number S, that are the letter S, letter M, to indicate they thought that, right? But Trump literally looked at it and said, on camera, he goes, it says MS-13 on his hand. And people are like, no, it doesn't. That's Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. I saw it. He's like, right, you saw a photo that somebody typed MS-13 on his hands. No, it's real. Yeah. Well, in any case, Trump is now brought the guy back because the court ordered Trump to bring him back. He didn't. Trump now brought him back, but he's now going after him on criminal charges. Trump is accusing him of human trafficking. It's Trump. it's Trump. I mean, what do you do? But so who knows what's happening to this guy? But Trump ignored the court order, which is a felony, constitutional crisis, and finally decided to abide by the court order. But, it's now, let's see what happens. It's not great. It's not great. Anyway, CNN. Oh God, this is insane. Guys, this is the thing that's really insane and dangerous. And honestly, to some degree, I almost feel like Democrats need to do the same, and maybe it'll stop. Trump is trying to cancel as much federal funding for California as he can because it's a Democratic state. I cannot tell you how dangerous this is. I cannot tell you how un-American this is, how authoritarian and fascist this is. He's trying to cancel as many federal contracts as he can with the state of California because it didn't vote for him. It's crazy. Trump has previously said that he previously said he wasn't going to help with the recent wildfires. I think it wasn't. First of all, he made comments about the wildfires last time, back like 2018 or whenever it was. But the recent wildfires, Trump said again that he was thinking of not helping California because they didn't vote for him. Actually, I know what it was. The old wildfires as well. Trump actually wasn't going to help California with the other wildfires years ago in California. And he said, I don't want to help them because they're Democrats. And his staff finally had to get data to prove to Trump that some cities in California voted for Trump in order to get Trump to give them federal monies. Again, this is so illegal. It is so immoral and unethical. It is so un-American. American presidents do not cut federal funding to entire states because the state didn't vote for him in the election. Democrats don't do this. Republican presidents up until now did not do this either. No Republican president has ever done this. Ronald Reagan, George Bush, none of them would think of anything like this. Thank you, Marsha. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. It's un-American. It is. It's pathological. We cannot live in a country where presidents cut off federal funding to entire states because they didn't vote for them. It's almost a form of political violence. It boggles my mind. It's more than childish though. Anyway, so he's trying to do that California now. He's starting by cutting off money to the California university system. He's looking at doing, but he's also looking at cutting off money to California entirely because he doesn't like them. And Republicans aren't going to stand up to him, Good question. So, Sass guy, who's a troll, by the way, and needs to be banned, just asked what aid Biden gave to the flood victims. Biden actually gave like over $1 billion, and he did it right away. This was a lie that the Trump people put out there, claiming Joe Biden didn't help flood victims in North Carolina after a hurricane. And in fact, they immediately got federal emergency funds, but the federal emergency funds, it works two ways. The federal emergency funds are a small amount because each disaster is different. Every time there's a disaster, you've got to pass additional supplemental monies. Thank you for who's the wings. Thank you, Succeed, for the wings. Thank you, Tiki. You've got to pass additional money. The initial money that's in the budget gives you a small amount, like maybe $700 a person or something. It's very small. Well, the Republicans with Trump, in order to try to make Biden look bad, and this guy just repeated it, thank you, Marsha, put out the lie that Biden only gave the flood victims $750. And it wasn't true. They were talking about the initial money under the statute that each flood victim gets is $750. Then Congress has to pass the supplemental money, which is the billions of dollars or whatever they do for disasters. And then people apply to get more money. But the initial money is always $750. There we go. German just said Biden approved $1.7 billion. But again, Biden gave billions of dollars finally, and everyone who needed the money got money. But they lied, and they claimed Biden only, again, not only Biden gave $750 because he didn't care. No, federal law gave every single flood victim $750 immediately because that's the money in the federal law. And then Biden got another $2 billion from Congress and gave more money to North Carolina. But this is what they do. And the guy just said there, what did Biden give to North Carolina? $2 billion, in fact, Biden gave to North Carolina. But this is what is so dangerous about lies, because the lies are out there about Democrats, about President Biden, et cetera. And then they use the lie to justify criminality, right? They use the lie. Actually, you're right. That is true. Hawaii, they said the same thing about Hawaii. They said the same lie about Hawaii. He's not helping Hawaii. But then they use the lies to justify their own immoral actions, right? They lie about Biden. They say he didn't give aid when he really gave $2 billion. They say he didn't give any aid. And then they justify it to cut off aid to Democratic states. I mean, it's really, again, it's insidious, it's evil, and it's incredibly dangerous and un-American. It doesn't matter Republicans or Democrats. You don't cut off states from getting federal disaster aid or federal money overall because they voted for Republicans or Democrats. It doesn't matter. If you're a Republican or a Democrat, you get federal help if you need it, period. If you live in a Democratic state, you get federal help. If you live in a Republican state, you get federal help. It doesn't matter. And we should be challenging every single person out there to say the same thing, that it doesn't matter which way you vote. The federal government should give you education money. They should be giving you everything else. There's the other lie. Lolly is another troll. This is what they look at this. Biden gave FEMA money to illegals. No, but Trump did, in fact, which is kind of interesting. They're talking about, this is another Trump lie. This is the problem, is all the lies. FEMA is our federal emergency management, the people who give money during disasters. FEMA literally has money that Congress gave it to basically deal with people who were here illegally, because they were like literally there in the flood zone. This is money, the Republican Congress, by the way, earmarked for FEMA to use for illegal immigrants. They did. And then the Republicans said, oh my God, Biden stole money that was supposed to go for other people's disasters and gave it to people who were here illegally. No, the Republican Congress appropriated a certain amount of money for FEMA to use for people who were here illegally, and then FEMA used it. Biden didn't steal money. Trump, however, did. Trump actually took U.S. disaster money and he used it for all the border stuff, his border thing he's big on, and literally took federal disaster money for it. Again, I talk about this because since the lies are coming out, it's important to correct them, but it's also important to give you an education on how the lies work and the lies that are out there, and not just the lies that are out there. Thank you for the alien buddy, Marsha, but how the lies are being used in order to do really evil, bad things, right? They're using these lies to justify cutting off money to states based on which way the state voted politically. No one should ever do that. No one has ever done that. No Republican has cut states off because of how they vote. No Democrat has cut states off because of how they vote. Donald Trump tried in his previous administration, and he's reportedly trying again, which is very scary. Any case, all right. Let's move on. So speaking of FEMA, this was kind of funny, not funny, but funny. Trump, there was recent disaster in Virginia and winter storms and flooding, and Trump decided he was going to help them. So without talking to the emergency agency that deals with national emergencies of flooding and that kind of stuff, thank you, Polly, Trump just announces all this money he's going to give to the state. Again, he didn't talk to the agency to figure it out. Trump just announced the money. Well, he never told the state, not the state, he never told the agency that gives the money. The agency didn't know. They found out in the papers, and because Trump didn't plan it with the agency, it delayed the aid for a week. People in this state were in real trouble because of flooding in the state because of the winter storm. And the aid for them was delayed for a week because Trump didn't even talk to the agency that would give the aid and say, let's do this. He did it during a press conference. He didn't plan it. He did it during a press conference because he made it up, and the aid got delayed for a week because of it. FAFO. FAFO. All right, let's talk about Ukraine. Thank you, Savannah, for the gift. Keep the gifts coming, guys. Let's talk about Ukraine. The Russians have launched their big attack on Ukraine, at least one of them in the last day, trying to get, even with Ukraine for blowing up at least 20 of Russia's nuclear bombers and other, basically Ukraine. We still don't know the real number. Ukraine did a huge attack on Russia, very effective, taking out a number of their bombers using drones. The Russians attacked Ukraine with 452 drones and 45 missiles overnight. Ukraine also attacked Russia. Ukraine knew the attack was coming. They attacked a number of Russian air bases, going after planes and other things, helicopters that might be used to attack Ukraine. So they got them first, which is good. The Russians are now trying to blame the UK. Thank you, Cynthia. The Russians are now trying to, Luca, I don't know. You look like you want to leave, Luca. I'm not sure. Why don't you understand Russia's goals? I do. Do you? I don't know. Think I do. But hey, you be you, Luca. The Russians are blaming the Brits for the drone attack. And again, Ukraine did this massive attack. They planned it for was this the one they planned for like a year and a half? And they snuck the drones in. They smuggled them in. It was brilliant what the Ukrainians did with this attack. And the Russians were pissed, and the Russians were blaming the Brits. Now, I admit, I thought the Brits had a hand. Callum thought the Brits might have had a hand. Sky News' defense people were saying they actually did not think the Brits had a hand in the attack, because while the attack was brilliantly planned, it was very low tech. It wasn't the kind of thing that you would need a world-class intelligence service or whatever to do. It was totally, again, the Ukrainians rock, but it was totally within the rubric of what the Ukrainians could do. It wasn't like, oh, it was so high-tech they couldn't do it. So who knows? I was quite impressed. Let's put it that way. I would not be surprised if the Brits helped, to be honest. I hope you did. I hope we helped. I'm pretty sure we didn't help, because I doubt Trump would. But it was still very impressive. Trump had said earlier this week, and I forgot to mention yesterday, I think Trump may have said this when the German chancellor was here on yesterday, but Trump claimed that about the war in Ukraine, sometimes you see two young children fighting like crazy. They hate each other and they're fighting in a park. Sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while and then pull them apart. First of all, Ukraine and Russia are not children. The Russians invaded in order to wipe Ukraine off the planet because the Russians want to expand their empire and steal land from all their neighbors and commit genocide. Second of all, I can't think of any scenario where two children are fighting and really hurting each other, and sometimes the best strategy is to let them fight for a while. I mean, literally, I'm not a parent. You tell me, parents out there, is there any scenario where two children are like bloodying each other? and the response is sometimes it's better to just let them fight. I really mean this. I think that's just, again, said by Donald Trump, which, right? I mean, one wonders if Donald Trump raised his own children. Right. Earl Grey says maybe in the 1920s. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Maybe in the 1920s. I mean, right. Kind of amazing. Now, I am going to say he's not a troll yet. He's bordering on being a troll. I'm not convinced he's a troll, the guy who asked about policing the world. I'd bring him back. He will prove he's a troll by his next comment, but I don't think he's a troll yet. Somebody said, why are we policing the world? The same reason we police our neighborhood. I don't live the next block over, but guess what? When there's criminals on the next block over and we let them go through all the houses and rob them, next week they come to my house and rob me. That's the first problem. Second of all, when we let criminals go crazy and just commit crimes and hire more people to commit crimes and expand their gangs bigger and bigger so that the gangs commit even more crimes, by the time they come to my house, those criminal gangs are pretty damn huge and they're going to do a lot more damage, and it's going to be a lot harder to stop them. That's why we get involved. America does not get involved around the world because we're good guys. We are good guys, but that's not really it. We get involved around the world because, for example, terrorism. If we don't stop, a famous quote by, I think, a Republican president, but it's a true quote. If we don't stop them over there, we're going to have to stop them over here, right? That's the way it works. We should absolutely care what other countries are doing. If they're terrorist countries, we should care, like Iran, right? If they're countries like Russia and they're trying to turn the world against us, we should care. If they're countries like Russia, by the way, one of the things the Russians like to do, Chinese too, is basically kind of take over these countries and hurt us militarily and hurt us economically, turn the countries against us economically, turn the countries against us militarily. Now we don't have military bases, so that if there is a problem around the world, we can't get there. World War II, perfect example case. Exactly. Basically, if you're smart, you get involved around the world the same way you should be worrying about crime in the next block, crime a mile away. Because if crime gets out of control in your city, it's coming to you too. And if the world becomes a really dangerous place and bad guys like the Germans in World War II, for example, take over, or the Japanese in World War II, someday they're coming to you. Or terrorists in the Middle East, someday they're coming for us if we don't take them out or take care of them. The Houthis in Yemen. Why do we bomb the Houthis in Yemen? Because the Houthis in Yemen were attacking international commerce. Like 30% of international trade goes by ship, goes by the Houthis, by Yemen. They were literally attacking a huge portion of the goods that you and I buy. If they take those out, you're going to see prices go up horrifically for goods in this country. It matters. They're literally attacking our economy. That's the final point. We live in a world that is interconnected. We can no longer, economically, we can no longer say it doesn't matter if the Russians attack Europe. It doesn't matter if the Russians take over Africa. It doesn't matter if the Chinese take over Asia. It does, because we're now a world economy. And if we let these guys take over, they're going to cut us off and we're going to be in real trouble, right? You want to see the Chinese get pissed at us and cut off all trade with Asia because the Chinese have now taken over Asia? Good luck with that. So, yeah. That's why we get involved. I shouldn't even have to explain this, because this is the kind of stuff that we learned in World War I and World War II. When you sit back and watch the world catch on fire, bad things happen to your own country. It shouldn't need to be explained, but unfortunately, people keep. It's just very It shouldn't have to be explained, but what do you do? All right, what else with Ukraine? Trump is trying to get Lindsey Graham to cut back on his sanctions. Lindsey Graham, Republican senator, is trying to pass a sanctions bill against Russia in the U.S. Senate because Russia obviously isn't interested in peace. Trump is trying to get the bill watered down because he doesn't want tough sanctions on Russia, because it's going to hurt Trump's plan to have really good relations with Russia and start trading with them again. Which, by the way, exposes everything we already knew about Donald Trump. This is not a surprise, right? Thank you, Marsha, for the gift. But kind of amazing. Oh, I forgot. That's true. I forgot this was Pride Trek. This is true. This is my Pride Trek. I may have to wear this tomorrow. I just put it on for the show with you guys. I may have to wear this. It depends how hot it is tomorrow. I've got to see, because it's Pride in DC. If it's too hot, I may not wear this shirt, but we'll see. We'll see. What else we got? Finally, Russia wants to turn on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant again, which was reported a week ago. Thank you, Marsha, for the coffee magnet. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Marsha. A week ago, it was reported that the Russians wanted to turn back on the nuclear plant they stole from Ukraine, and the Russians said, no, it's not true. Today, Russia said they want to turn the plant back on. It's like, okay, what a surprise. What a surprise. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for the news today. Actually, that's funny. That took a while. I was going to say there wasn't a lot of news, yet in fact, it took us a good hour to talk, or 45 minutes to talk about it. All right. So let's hang out and talk. We got a lot of people here on TikTok. We got a lot of YouTubers and Discordians. Let's talk. What's up, guys? Talk about whatever topic you want. Oh, man. What else is going on here? Thank you for the gifts. The seashells are on the seafloor. The coral. Thank you, Scully. Thank you for the heart there. Is that Chuck? Thank you, Chuck. Let's talk about the girls are fighting. It is pretty funny. Yeah. Elon and Trump have agreed to stop sniping at each other. Trump was asked about it today and said, I'm not talking to him. They said, are you going to talk to him? I'm not talking to him. Trump is pissed. Trump is really pissed, which is good, which is very good. So I'm excited about this. This is, I'm going to yawn at you. This is incredibly beneficial. I'm going to move my back isn't hurting me, but sometimes I still like to kind of slouch and get more comfortable. It's incredibly beneficial that Trump and Elon are attacking each other. They're a dangerous combination. Trump is the president, leader of the free world, so to speak. Elon is the richest man in the world. Very dangerous combination. Them fighting is great. Elon was supposed to give $100 million to Republican organizations tied to Donald Trump. He hasn't given them the money yet. I'm not so sure they're getting their money. To be honest, that's great news. I mean, that's absolutely great news. Excuse me. Einars, you should be worried about the Suwalki Gap. There's nothing right now going on, but that is a concern. I noticed from Latvia talking about an area of land between Lithuania and Poland, excuse me, that we've always been concerned the Russians may try to grab at some point. So yes, Kerch Bridge, no update. The issue with the Kerch Bridge was that big important bridge, southern Ukraine, connecting southern Ukraine to Russia. The issue with the Kerch Bridge is that the Ukrainians attacked it. I'm going to yawn. Sorry, guys. The Ukrainians attacked the bridge. The bridge. And I'm thinking bridge, Star Trek. I'm like the bridge. And it's not clear the damage they did, but the explosion was so big that it is very likely the Ukrainians did significant structural damage. The Russians didn't care, and they let traffic just continue on the bridge anyway because they wanted to show a good face. I mean, like, yikes. Very scary stuff. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, yeah, but the explosion was so big that they've got to send somebody to test it and everything else. It's not clear that bridge is safe at all. The bridge could collapse. Oh, well. Oh, well. No, on the contrary, I just said, Callum said there's an 85% chance that the Ukrainians did so much damage to the bridge that it's not even usable anymore. But the Russians, being the Russians, don't care that there's an 85% chance that their bridge is going to collapse and kill people. And they don't care. And they let their own citizens use the bridge. That's pretty bad. So there you go. Congratulations. The bridge connects Ukraine to Russia. I don't know legally where. I guess because of international waters, half the bridge is, or part of the bridge is in Ukraine, part of it's in Russia, I guess. Putin built it. It's Putin's bridge, but, but yeah, so. Oh, excuse me. Hey, guys, I am tired. I'm tired. We're not going to talk about yesterday, Rome. We're back. That's what matters. We're back. Oh, what else, guys? What else? Patio tour. Yeah, maybe someday. I'll do a patio tour. Abrigo. We did talk about Abrigo earlier. Trump is bringing back finally the guy he illegally deported, and now he's going to try to throw him in prison. So that's a surprise. But the thing is, they're going to have to win in court, and in a court of law, Trump's going to have to prove the case. So I'm not convinced they're going to be able to prove this guy's a human trafficker or whatever. So let's see. That's a good question. I think actually. That's a good question. I'm pretty sure. I know you need a yawning sticker. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the interest on the debt is mostly treasury bonds, I think. Meaning it's anybody who owns, China probably is a lot of it, but it's anybody who owns U.S. treasury bonds. Is, I think, when we talk about how much the U.S. debt service is going to cost us, the interest on our debt. Let me ask here, but I think that's what it is. When we talk about how much servicing the U.S. debt is going to cost because of rising interest rates, who's the money going to? Is it pretty much just holders of treasury bonds, or are there other people we're paying that when the interest rates go up, we owe more on the debt? Let me see. Well, who is a different question. I meant generally who, meaning is it treasury bonds or what? It goes to the holders of U.S. Treasury securities. These are investors, institutions, foreign governments who have loaned money to the U.S. by buying treasury bonds, bills, and notes. Okay, that's what I thought. Who are the holders? Domestic investors, U.S. investors, mutual funds, banks, pension funds. Federal Reserve holds a large portion of treasuries, currently $5 trillion. U.S. holds 60 to 70% of the total debt is held by domestic investors. Foreign governments hold 30 to 35% of the U.S. public debt. Countries like Japan and China. Let's see here. Hold on. What percent of U.S. public debt is owned by China and Japan specifically? Give me each country's percentage. 1 second here, ChatGPT. Japan holds 12.5% of U.S. debt. China holds 8.5%, combined 21%. Foreign investors totally hold 24% of U.S. debt, which stood at $36 trillion. Okay. So there you go. My hair is different every day, boy. It just kind of does what it wants. It's like my hair. As it gets longer, it does different things. This is like literally, my hair is famous for this. It changes every day. It's being Greek. Your hair does what he goes, dude, your hair is different. Every day it's different. I've sort of just come to accept it. I wake up and it does whatever it wants to do. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Happy Pride, Helion. Anyway, what else? Adrian says, could this Trump-Musk spat be a diversion? I don't think so. Thank you, Wandering Chill. Oh, that's cute. Thank you, Wandering Chill. Appreciate that on TikTok, on YouTube. It was so violent. I mean, the words they used against each other, and especially on Elon's side, so vicious that it was too vicious. I mean, bringing up Epstein is not something that Trump could. First of all, saying Trump didn't really win, Elon won, and Trump wouldn't have won. Trump would never accept that as, hey, let's have a plan, Elon. I'm Donald Trump. Let's have a plan where you pretend to attack me and we're doing it for some crazy reason, right? There is no way as part of that plan, Donald Trump would say, why don't you claim that I didn't really win, that I'm a loser and you're the one who really won, right? And then why don't you claim that I committed crimes with young girls? Donald Trump? There's zero chance of that. Yeah. I agree with you that Trump does try to deflect all the time. He uses scandals. He'll do something scandalous to deflect the news away from some big story. But this one's real. Yeah, this one's real. Now, is it an added benefit for Elon that he can try to convince people that Tesla is, to come back to Tesla? Maybe. But I still think what Elon said was so bad that there's no way he did it nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It was so bad, so dangerous that it could only be Elon was pissed and decided just to let go. That's the only explanation. Yeah. But I know what you mean, because Trump and Elon both are capable of kind of playing games and this kind of stuff. Yep. Trump will not be impeached. No. The black eye thing was weird. I agree. Anyway, I am yawning a lot today. Sorry. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Katie. Some county in New York hand counting the votes. Yeah, it sounds a little surprising. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. JD Vance. The problem JD Vance is going to have is, he's not the most likable guy. I mean, I'm not convinced he's going to. Trump. People like him. I don't know how, but they do. They think he's funny, right? They think he's like a regular guy and stuff. JD Vance is very uptight. I really think you see JD Vance and you go, right? Donald Trump. I don't like Trump, but Trump is funny and personable. He tells jokes. He tells lots of fun stories. I could see a swath of the population liking Trump. right? JD Vance, I can't see any voters listening and going, I like him. He's also way too serious. He's a little creepy. Yeah, so we'll see, but I don't know that he's gonna have a good time running for president. Maybe. We'll see. Nobody quit, Donnie. No. Does he wear eyeliner? Only his wife and his fashion consultant know for sure. I don't know. It looks like it, but I don't know. I have no idea. It does look like it. Although I've been accused of that on here. Sometimes TikTok especially will make it look like, I've noticed this because somebody said it and I finally took a picture and I was right. It makes it look like your eyes are really dark. TikTok does, at least. It can make, I don't know if it's doing it today, but at one point people were asking because it literally made it, although I kind of like it, it would make my eyes look darker. You know, if it's natural, I think it's kind of cool. I wouldn't do it otherwise. I mean, again, not that there's anything wrong with it. Feel free to do it if you want. Put on eyeliner, but you know, the beauty filter. No, it was some weird. Oh, you know what? I do like to, even on this, I think I use the filter that like just makes you look a slightly better. I never thought about that. It may put the little lines on or something. It's possible. I don't know during the live if I use that. I may still use it on the live. There's like a little, I do actually. I put on very slightly. Yeah. I put on just a little. Oh, actually, hold on. Just for fun. We've done that. We did this before. Hold on. Just for fun. Oh, that's the eye filter. It's not making. Oh, hold on. I'm playing on TikTok with this. It's making my eyes go this and this very slightly. Here, sorry, we're going to play with this a second, okay? Going up. All right, all the way up, all the way down. It's very subtle what it does to your eyes. That was very subtle. Now let's try shape, all right? Shape. Going up. It's skinnier. This is skinnier. Check it out. Now I'm going to go to regular. Oh, that's creepy. Now I'm at regular. Oh, that's creepy. It makes you skinnier. Hold on. Once again. Oh, you could literally see it. Oh, that's just weird. It's like too skinny of a bottom face. Oh, now it's normal. That's totally weird. Now smooth. This is all the way. Oh, that's kind of funny. Now, the all the way smooth is funny because it does make me look like I could be like 23. That's very fun. Except then it makes these wrinkles look kind of weird. That's funny. That's funny. And then there's other filters for light. Like there's a sunny filter, which actually, a sunny filter that I do not that people recommended because, hold on. Yeah, people recommended the sunny one because it gives you just a little bit of redness that isn't a bad thing. Oh, that was the funniest damn thing. Wow. Now I'm worried that I left that weird face filter on. Hold on a second. No, the face filter is shape. Oh, no, I did leave it on. Oh, God, I did leave the face filter on. Holy crap. I was going to say it looked weird. Okay, it's back to normal now. Okay, the filters are normal now. That was fun and weird. Wow. That was very weird on TikTok. Yeah, the face one I'm looking going, okay, it's still making me look like I have skinny face. Oh, that was kind of creepy. Wow. That's very funny. Oh, it turned me into an animal? It did do that. Remember it did, was I a panda, I think? The lip gloss, yeah. Was it a panda it did to me or something? I'm forgetting. The smooth was a little weird. The smooth made me look like I was the smooth may not have looked 23. The smooth made me look like I was 70 trying to look 23. That was very weird. It was very weird. Yeah, exactly. I'm not 23. I'm only 24. The panda hanging off my nose. That was it. That was it. I am not a cat. I am not a cat. Your Honor. I remember the other guy was kind of not even, and all of a sudden the other guy finally looks up at the screen and he kind of smiles and looks down again. Oh my God. I am not a cat. That's funny. Oh my. Oh my. Oh boy. What else, guys? So yes, I think I'm going to skip tomorrow's show because we got Pride stuff going on. And wouldn't hurt me again to have 2 days off. The voice is being good. It's still rattling a little bit, but it is doing better. So we'll take tomorrow's extra show I do for the subscribers. We'll take off. I did do extra shows this week though, so there was that with I'm forgetting. Oh, Elon. It was I think Ukraine's attack, on the Kerch Bridge and some of the attack stuff. Happy Pride, Danny. Oh my. But yes, so I had we're going to go to a friend's house tomorrow who lives near the festivities, and then Sunday we're going to go down to the actual Pride, whatever you call it. I don't even know what you call it. Not the parade, but the festival or whatever. So it should be fun. But yeah, so to recap our top story, I have been looking forever for my mom's city registry, her family registry in Greece, that you need to get the Greek passport. No, 15 years, no one could find it. They said, it doesn't exist. I think either a friend recommended this or I don't know what. I asked ChatGPT and said, can you find me contact information of these various cities? My grandfather's, a couple of them, including my my mom's father's city in Greece, small city, but known. And it said, yeah, here's an email address. And I'm going, yeah, right. So I emailed the other emails, all of them bounce. This email goes through. And literally, I'm thinking, I'm never going to hear from these people. It's been 1 week. They emailed me back. They found the document I'm looking for 15 years. And I'm like, some government office the town's only 50,000 people. I mean, in Greece, it's a decently large town, but still, it's a pretty small town. Some government official in Greece. I'm an American. Now, granted, I provided a copy of my mom's Greek birth certificate, my mom's Greek passport, my birth certificate. I was like, I want to prove to them I am who I am, but I'm thinking they're never going to respond. They went and got me the information, and it was they didn't send me the document, but they gave me the information in the document, which now we know the document exists. Now, it's still complicated because I needed mom's document. Mom was not registered. Her father was registered. It's possible that's enough. We're going to find out. Years ago, I was told that would be enough, but they couldn't find it either. Anyway, so I'm very excited, but let's see, because this has been so much disappointment that I'm still waiting to see. I'm waiting for the Greek embassy to go, you can't use that, but I was shocked that they emailed me back at all, let alone said, oh yeah, we found it. I was like, what? And it's my grandfather. It's him. They knew his brothers. They knew his mom, his dad. I was like, holy crap. So very exciting. Born in 1881, which is kind of exciting. 1881, kind of wild. So very, very exciting stuff. So, woo-woo. But we'll see. I'm trying to get my Greek passport because then I would have an EU passport, which would be kind of cool. But let's see. And I mean, personal reasons, but also it'd be nice to retire in the EU, but also personal reasons. Because Greek Americans always feel a strong connection to Greece. And my mom immigrated, all my grandparents immigrated. And we've had a number of government officials that have been, my family goes back to like the Greek Revolution government officials, but a couple of really famous ones. One of my uncles fought in the revolution, famous for his region in southern Greece. My great-great-great-great-grandfather. And then my uncle, my mom's first cousin, who's the modern famous one, was the Greek foreign minister, defense minister, deputy prime minister, and UN ambassador under Papandreou, the father Papandreou in the 1980s, which was very cool. And I got to visit him when he was defense minister, but very cool. So that we're very proud of him because that's pretty cool. So that was very exciting, which actually is reminding me, I've got to see where it is. I've got a special commemorative stamp of his that I've got to find. It's hiding in a book. I put it in a book somewhere. I'm like, oh God, I've got to find the book. So yeah, very exciting. So anyway, but yeah, exactly, Chaz. For Greek Americans, the connection is very real. So I want to find I want to get my passport, but also I very easily could see retiring in Greece or Europe overall, but certainly Greece too. And at least spending a lot of time there, because otherwise you can only go, I forget, is it 90 days for Schengen? I forget what it is. Do you think Trump will increase the sanctions on Putin? No. No, he's even talking about lessening them right now. Again, that was this big story today with Lindsey Graham. He's trying to get Lindsey Graham to lessen the sanctions on Putin that Graham is planning. So I don't think Trump will put more sanctions on Putin. I don't know. Yeah, 90 days. That's not very, 90 days isn't bad, but it's not much, because in retirement, even if I didn't retire in Greece, couldn't you see going and like rent an Airbnb for 6 months or who knows, 3 months at a time, like would be pretty cool in retirement. Just rent an Airbnb. But my nephew did for a year. Rent. I know we don't like Airbnb lately, but you know what I mean? The concept. But rent an Airbnb for 3 months, go back 3 months, go back later, rent it again. And you don't have to worry about 90 days, which would be nice for starters. And I just think it would be cool to have the passport because like I feel the connection. It would really be full circle as a Greek American with my family being known in Greece. It'd be kind of cool. Anyway. And I'm the one in charge of the family tree as well. So I've got all the family history back to the 1700s, sort of more than anybody else. So it's personal for me. It's personal for all of us, but still. Anyway, Ireland is not Schengen. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I remember Sweden isn't Schengen either, I think. Yeah, Sweden is not Schengen. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, no, Sweden's not Schengen, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Sweden was not Schengen. Sweden is not the currency, but also Sweden is Schengen? Okay. Oh, interesting. Is Sweden Schengen? All right. Huh. I was thinking it wasn't. Okay. You got your family tree dating back to the 1300s? Wow. Yes, I know about the golden visa for Greece and those kind of places. Yeah. Sweden is. Okay. Didn't realize that. Or I was forgetting. Yeah. Because I remember I was going to Sweden from Greece and I was close to my limit that I was going to. Oh, thank you, cheering. I was close to my limit of the 90 days, but I think it's because I would be close to my limit of 90 days when I was leaving Sweden. And I think they got weird. The Swedes or whoever got weird on the border. Somebody got weird with me on the border. Although I was flying within the EU, but they still got weird with me. And they were like, you can only be here 90 days or however many days. I think it was 60. I think it was 60 at the time, not 90. I think it was 60 because it was 60. They said, you can only be here 60 days. And I said, yeah, I'm going to be here 59. And he looked at me. I said, I counted. I said, trust me, when I bought my ticket, I made sure it was not 60. And he was like, okay. I said, well, I'm obeying. I want to obey the law. But was it not 59 days or 60 days before? Because I remember back in 2010 that we had 60 days. It's 90 now in Europe, or is it still 60 for an American going to Europe for Schengen? We're going to have to go soon. So my voice, anybody know? Somebody must know. It is 90, but was it not? I don't think it's 90 within one. Is it 90 within 180? England is 6 months. It's 90. Okay. But was it before? Back in 2010 was the amount of time that Americans could go to Europe consecutively limited to 60 days at a time or 60 days a year. I thought it was, even though now it's 90. All right, let's ask ChatGPT. I remember it being, because I remember I was at 59 days. I counted it. It says 90. I don't know what's going on. 2010, U.S. citizens were permitted to stay in the Schengen area for up to 90 days. Okay. There was no general 60-day rule limit. It's possible specific countries had bilateral agreements with the U.S. I remember 59 days. I don't know. Okay. 90, 180. But how does 90 days within a 180-day period without a visa? Okay. You can spend a total of 90 days in the Schengen area. These 90 days can be consecutive or spread out over multiple months. Once you've used up your 90 days, you must leave Schengen and wait until enough days have passed to fall below the 90-day limit within the 180-day window. Okay, I don't know what the hell that means. All right, I don't know what that means. Because I was wondering, how does that work in practice? That totally confused me. I was like, okay, whatever. But yes, it's 90 days within 180, but I'm still not sure what that means. I guess, I guess it means, you know what? I know what it means. Within any 180-day period, you can only be there for 90 days. So if you're 90 days, let's say you spent 90 days inside Europe, you then do a 180-day bubble around that. And when the bubble advances, all of a sudden the bubble starts advancing to your first day. That first day gets outside of the bubble. Now the 180 days only includes 89 days. You get one more day. That's my guess of what it means. That's my guess. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was some weird problem I had, but yeah, this Ireland thing still confuses me because I thought having the EU, I know you guys were saying I thought the EU passport, hold on. Does having an EU passport give you any special rights for moving to Ireland or not at all as an American? Yeah, 90 days visa free. Does not give you the during those night you don't need a visa in advance. Oh, I see. You'd have to actually just move and do the do not have Irish. I know everyone gets the Irish passport. Okay. So I think you just have to go and you come as a retiree, you have to earn at least 50,000 a year for individuals, private health insurance, must show access to lump sum savings. Okay. So yeah, interesting. All right. Anyway, yeah, I guess Ireland just lets you move there if you're a retiree and you can prove you have enough money and everything else. Anyway, I do think it would be nice to move to Europe. I really should have done it a long time ago. I don't like Washington. I've never liked Washington. I mean, I like the weather. Like, as you can see, I'm able to grow plants, which makes me this I got from my grandfather or my mother, the plant fetish. I love plants and I'm very good at them. But this I admit I like about DC, that the plant thing is so great. Otherwise, I've never liked DC. Just never liked DC. I don't know why the hell I stayed here all these years. I just don't want to be on my deathbed and be still living in DC. It's like, don't do this, please. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's my nightmare scenario is still being here, they're saying it's going to rain tonight. Okay. Interesting. Kitchen garden? Well, I don't know what that is. What's a kitchen garden? You're moving to Europe 30th September? Get out. Doing the Schengen shuffle? Wow. Are you in the US? Good for you. German's going to move back to Germany. Interesting. Ireland is EU, so you can move there with an EU passport. Okay, but that's not the information I was finding. I'm very confused about what that means because it's not Schengen though, so I'm very confused. Yeah, Jens was saying UK and Ireland got exception from Schengen when they joined the EU. Yeah, I'm very confused. Oh, vegetables. No, I've got a tomato plant I'm growing, but little tomatoes because I like them, cherry tomatoes. I also have, actually, it's growing ridiculously. I have my scallions. I put compost on my, or compost and whatchamacallit, the worm castings on my scallions, they're insane. Hold on, I'll show you guys if you can see. Those are my scallions. It looks like snakes. Look at those crazy ass things. They're gigantic. I mean, it's absolutely, it's hilarious. I don't know if you guys, actually you can barely see. They're down here. I don't know if you can see well enough the size of these things, but it grew just ridiculously large. I mean, the thing is they're like stalks on them. It's the funniest damn thing. And they never did this before, but literally I put, like I said, compost and worm castings and all of my freaking garden went crazy. I've got to do this. I mean, I'm going to do this every year now. I never knew, but they literally just exploded on me. I actually have to use it more because it's growing so much. But I cannot, I mean, I wish my mom were around. She would love this, the insanity of how big these are. Worm castings are worm poop, basically. But yeah, that thing is absolutely, positively, hold on, I'm going to go after this. I'll take a picture and show you guys. It's absolutely insane how big these damn things are. There we go. Okay. This is the picture of my scallions or green onions, you guys would call them. Look at this crazy ass thing. I mean, it's like got stalks. That's one plant here. That's like one plant. I mean, this thing right here is one plant. Show you guys. That's what I mean. Like it's like it got huge because it's only a couple plants. Yeah. Insane how well that thing is growing. Yeah. Oh, I do eat them. I just need to make something to eat them with. But yeah, I use them. I use them as onions. Whenever I need onions, I use those things. Not whenever, but very often when I need onions. So spring onions. Yeah, we call them here in DC. We call them scallions. In Chicago, they're called green onions. Because I remember to my mom, I was talking about this, and she was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, they're onions that are really skinny." I'm like, "I don't know." She goes, "Oh, you mean green?" I was like, "Green onions?" Whoa. And then I went to the local Jewel, the grocery store, and I was trying to buy them, and I was like, "Oh shit, what are they called again?" And I told the woman, it was like scallions. But yeah, I think it's an East Coast thing that we call them scallions. Green onions, Michigan. Yeah, Chicago is green onions. Yeah. But they're also nice too, because what you can do is just cut the green part. So I'll cut the green part, use that in dishes, and it just keeps growing. And it's pretty I mean, this son of a bitch survived a Chicago winter. So DC winter is no problem at all. We're zone 7B maybe. It totally survives the winter here, which is really pretty cool. Like I think I never realized that they could survive like that, So that's chives are nice. I do like chives. I need to maybe grow chives again too. But yeah, they're very cold tolerant, which is nice. Onion and egg mayo. That sounds good actually. Yeah. I've got a lot of eggs. I think I may need to make some egg salad. My eggs were on sale. So I got a dozen eggs for $2. I was like, I have to buy them. But I've got to cook them now because they're going to go bad on me. So, all right, good idea. I will maybe this week or maybe after this weekend, I'll make some egg salad. That's a really good. I do like egg salad. So good. Oof, that's a very good idea. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to ruin my throat. Thank you so much. I will see you guys. Curried eggs. That sounds good too. I've never tried that. I like curry. Actually, curry would go well with eggs, wouldn't it? That is a good idea. I will see you guys. We're not going to do tomorrow's show Saturday, but I'll be back Monday. Okay. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, mods. We had fun today. TikTok. I can tell whenever TikTok gets 1,000 people, it means da, da, da. It's getting crazy. All right. Discord. I'm going to hang up on you. Goodbye, Jeffrey, Marie, and Manda. Thank you, guys. All right. Oops. All right. Discord is done. YouTube. Thank you, guys. And finally, TikTok.